What is Hollywood's gossip affair without scandal? There are few as messy, dramatic, and star-studded as the feud between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni.
Other news today, if such a thing is even possible, the dispute between Blake Lively and her It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni is even uglier.
It began as a big movie project, an adaptation of the bestseller It Ends With Us, but has devolved into a legal and PR civil war ripping apart Hollywood. At the center of the controversy, a 2 a.m. voice note.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 in the morning. Hopefully this does not wake you up.
Accusations of creative sabotage and a defamation lawsuit worth hundreds of millions.
I'm really sorry. I for sure fell short, and you worked really hard on that. And hopefully it's not been the experience with me. There's nothing more exciting to me like that I get to work with Blake Lively and have her, all of her. I mean, that's what I want.
Blake Lively says Baldoni dismissed her creative input, inserted forced comedy into the film, and marketed a product she never agreed to. But Justin, for his part, says she knew exactly what she was getting into and has receipts to prove it. Things get even wilder here. 10 major Hollywood celebrities have thrown their weight behind Baldoni, leaving Lively's story in serious doubt. The list goes on. Gina Rodriguez, Mindy Kaling, Hilary Swank, Selena Gomez. Some are speaking out publicly, others are showing quiet support, but the message is clear. In Hollywood, many don't believe Lively's side of events. Now, Baldoni is even suggesting that some of the evidence against him could actually be fake. This is a career-ending revelation if it's true. So, what's really going on? Did Lively take the creative silence route, or did she change her tone when things didn't go her way? Is Baldoni controlling, or is he the victim of a Hollywood power play? So, what does that mean for It Ends With Us? Will it even get to theaters? Get ready, because here we will unwrap Hollywood's biggest meltdown of the year.
We have these moments where
staring. You just stare.
Literally we've done it for like 5 minutes.
God only knows what I need.
All right, cut.
At one point, It Ends With Us was on the tip of everyone's tongue. It was going to be the movie adaptation of the year. The film had everything working for it. Blake Lively was the lead, Justin Baldoni was directing, and there was a huge built-in fan base wanting to see their favorite book come to life. But things went sideways, fast. It started with creative disagreements. Lively said Baldoni attempted to make a comedy out of it, something she felt was forcing comedic elements to a story that she wanted to be raw and emotional.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me.
Baldoni, she said, wanted to bring in some light moments and high fashion aesthetics that didn't fit the story. I felt kind of overruled and overshadowed, honestly, she told her, adding that when you don't have control over how your character is portrayed, she said, it's not much fun. Baldoni then hit back with a huge defamation lawsuit. His lawsuit not only denied the allegations, but accused Lively of telling an intentionally twisted story. Baldoni says Lively approved the direction of the film from the get-go, the comedic tones and wardrobe choices. Even he had come with text messages, meeting notes, and other receipts to prove it.
I am more than willing to take every single text message that exists out there.
The problem gets even murkier, however, as Baldoni's side has now started to hint that some of Lively's evidence might not be genuine. This could change everything if it's true. Suddenly, this was no longer about creative vision, but it was a full-blown Hollywood war. Reputations, careers, and sometimes even millions of dollars were at stake. As the legal drama unfolded, things began to take a turn, and more unexpected things started to happen. A-list celebrities began taking sides, some quietly, some loudly. Most of them weren't even standing with Blake, and strangely enough.
It Ends With Us starts the year with Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively's biggest battle yet. Welcome to Access Hollywood.
The industry listens when a Hollywood feud explodes. In the battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, something not seen too often occurred. A wave of celebrities jumped to the defense of Baldoni. The first to speak, Gina Rodriguez, Baldoni's former Jane the Virgin co-star. Praising his collaborative approach, she said he's not the type to force artistic choices on people and work under his direction. Lively must have been on board if comedic elements made it into the film, she said. That's when Chrissy Metz, who didn't name names but left a cryptic tweet saying that kindness and truth matter in creative disagreements. This wasn't just a random post. Fans read between the lines. It was a small show of support for Baldoni. Hilary Swank also weighed in. She didn't publicly comment, but close to her it was said she found the accusations hard to believe. She wouldn't defend Baldoni unless she truly believed that he wasn't in the wrong. Mindy Kaling made the most eyebrow-raising comment. When asked about the controversy, Baldoni has a gift for blending humor and emotion without losing the heart of a story. The subtext, for the comedic elements in It Ends With Us, it is likely that Lively wasn't forced to add them, but instead, something she initially agreed to. Every time another celebrity lined up on Baldoni's side, the tide started turning. Now what had seemed like a no-brainer of creatively silencing an actress was looking way more complicated. Was Blake Lively playing down the situation, or was it that these stars were defending a friend? Hollywood was watching, and the war was far from won either way. Justin Baldoni's team went into damage control mode with big names backing them. It had become an all-out PR battle between the two, and both sides were adamant about controlling the narrative. Power and manipulation, insisted Lively's camp, that this wasn't about comic choices after all, but about power and manipulation. Lively has been told her brand deals, wardrobe choices, and rewrites were being made to make her uncomfortable, they claimed. The real issue, her team says, wasn't that she didn't sign off on comedic moments, but that her creative voice was usurped in favor of Baldoni's vision. A counter-strike then followed. Baldoni suggested that Lively's team could have fabricated or manipulated evidence to make him look bad. This was a game changer. If any of Lively's so-called receipts were found to be false, it wouldn't just pierce a hole in her case, it would destroy her credibility. The media frenzy peaked, meanwhile. Fans and Hollywood insiders debated fiercely whether she was a woman taking on an industry that typically overlooks female creatives, and Team Blake saw it. Team Justin thought he was being unfairly demonized, that Lively's story had too many inconsistencies to be believed. Then things got worse as rumors began circulating that Disney might be quietly backing Baldoni because the studio sees him as a potential asset for future family-friendly projects. This meant, if it was true, he had corporate muscle behind him, and Lively couldn't possibly hope to control the narrative. Now completely overshadowed by controversy, the once promising film turned into an argument without a clear winner. Then, Baldoni's team started to hint at even more receipts that could make all the difference. That is, until Justin Baldoni's team hinted that they were not finished yet. Insiders say Baldoni had more receipts, messages, emails, and behind-the-scenes footage that could completely tear Blake Lively's claims apart. Baldoni had already given text messages and meeting notes that showed Lively had been on board with the film's direction all along, and now there was talk even of stronger evidence, video or audio recordings, that she wasn't just aware of the creative decisions, but was participating in them. If Baldoni's team can deliver solid proof, it could reverse the entire story. He could be seen as a director who didn't care about his lead actress, or Lively could be accused of lying by manipulating the truth. Lively's side weren't backing down either. Her team dismissed Baldoni's so-called evidence, saying that it was disingenuous, taken out of context, or was not what really took place behind the scenes. They also said they thought Baldoni was attempting to silence her by dragging the fight into the court of public opinion. With both camps doubling down, fans and industry insiders were left wondering. After all, as the feud between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively rages on, the bigger question remains. And what does this scandal mean for Hollywood? This isn't just a war between two celebrities. It's a war for the industry's credibility, power, and trust that has been reeling from manipulation and cover-ups. One of the biggest concerns? The impact on the Me Too movement. Hollywood has taken some big steps to hold these people accountable over the past few years. The conversation becomes complicated by cases like this. In the end, if Lively's claims prove to be exaggerated, or even worse, completely false, it could do damage to the credibility of future victims. It's likely some people will be reluctant to believe women who come forward because they fear their accusations could be weaponized for personal or professional gain. But on the other hand, if Baldoni did actually force Lively into creative decisions on which she was uncomfortable, it brings up another problem: the power asymmetry between male directors and female stars. It's not just the high-profile actresses who are sidelined in Hollywood, and if Lively's story holds up, it could make the industry start questioning how female voices are treated behind the scenes. There's the media's role in defining the narrative. Ever since this scandal broke, headlines have pushed the public's opinion, with fans split in two. Nevertheless, with celebrity endorsements, leaked texts, and legal threats taking center stage, one thing is clear: Hollywood is not just about telling a story on screen, it's about taking control of the story off screen too. Regardless of how this plays out, someone will leave with a tarnished reputation. The question is now, who will Hollywood believe when the dust settles?